So, I'm doing a little video on my MacBook again here. I was thinking maybe I should make a video about amplifier heads and cabinets, because almost a year ago I bought a Laney Ironheart 120H. Yes, that's an amplifier head made by Laney. It's a it's not been out there for too long. I think maybe a couple of years or so. I know there is not a lot of artists using this amplifier yet. I don't know why, but I know Tony Iommi have been into Laney for the past 45 years or so, but not very often you see Laney Ironheart on stage. I don't know why, but just the way it is. Anyway, these days I got two Laney Ironheart 120H. They are exactly the same tubes in there. They are exactly the same thing. They are actually manufactured in the same year and almost the same month. So it's exactly the same thing. The only problem is that it doesn't really sound the same. So most people don't really know this, but it's very important what type of cabinet you're using. In my case, I'm using a Laney 412 cabinet with custom designed Laney HH speakers in it. It sounds awesome. The Laney cabinet sounds awesome. In my opinion. The other Laney head that I have, I hooked it up to a Bugera 412 cabinet. That's when the problems starting to appear. Of course, it makes sounds, it makes noise, but it sounds like shit. There could be a problem here because those Bugera speakers are just crap. I am pretty sure that if you choose some other type of amplifier head that is actually made by Bugera, I think it could make some great tones, but for these, these type of Laneys or Marshalls or the better brands, I don't think that's a great idea, because I really think that if you have a Marshall or Laney or something like that, perhaps maybe a Blackstar or something like that, I really think you should stick with the better cabinets, because if you're hooking up a expensive amplifier head to a very cheap cabinet, that will sound crap and you will feel disappointed and thinking maybe it's the amplifier head that's actually in bad condition, or makes you think that the brand is crap or something like that. So if you don't have the cash, of course you can buy for example a Marshall JCM 2000 or DSL100H or something like that. It's a fairly expensive head and a cheap cabinet, but it will not sound any good, trust me. It will sound kind of like if I have hooked up my two Laneys on each cabinet, the Bugera and the Laney cabinet, and I made a stump box, an ABY box, so I can easily change in between the amps. I have the amp settings exactly the same on both heads. It sounds crap when I go to the Bugera cabinet compared to the Laney cabinet. So it seems like with the Bugera, seems like all the low end is gone. There is no low end at all. I mean, of course you can crank the amp on the low end, but that's not really right, because it makes more sense if you have a cabinet that actually fits is very suitable for the head you're using. So I really suggest that you, if you are thinking about buying a new guitar amplifier, if you're buying a stack, maybe a Marshall head, I really don't think you should go with the cheaper cabinets. If you're buying a Marshall DSL100H, for example, don't go with the cheapest Marshall cabinets, because that cabinets are actually more suitable for the MG series. And you know that there is no actually power tubes in the MG series. It's actually the cheapest thing you can get from Marshall. So with the cheapest Marshall cabinet, I think that's totally fine if you're using a Marshall MG100, for example. But if you're using a all tube Marshall head, I don't recommend you using a cheap cabinet, because it will sound like shit. And you will hear it especially when you're putting perhaps a Sennheiser MD mic, or like a Shure SM57 or 58 or something like that in front of the cab, and you're going to record anything. It will sound like shit. So that's not a great idea. I really think you should try to make the cash to buy, for example, if you're buying a DSL 100, for example, I really think you should try to get the cash to buy either a new Marshall 1960 cabinet, that's a 412 cabinet, of course, or perhaps a used 1960 lead cabinet. I know there is several types of lead cabinets. You got those greenbacks, Celestion greenbacks, 12 elements in there. But I also know you got, I think the earliest version is Vintage 30, and that's hell of a sound in those speakers. So either way, you got the greenbacks, or if you got the Vintage 30 in a used 1960 lead cabinet, you're going to have an awesome sound. I mean, you can't compare a 1960 lead cab to a cheap Marshall 412 cab for like $300. You can't really compare that things. So that's just a little speech about different, well, not maybe a lot of amplifier heads, but especially the cabinets, because I noticed my cabinets are making, well, the Bugera, I gotta get rid of this Bugera cabinet because it's crap. It doesn't sound anything but shit. So yeah, I got some news about this kind of stuff in a very close future. I already got 2 Laney Ironhearts. I'm kind of satisfied with it, but I'm not 100%. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what I can do about it. Maybe try something different. I don't know. So anyway, I really think you should go with. Don't buy the Bugeras, or you know, don't buy the cheap cabinets because you will be disappointed. Trust me, you will be disappointed. It's going to sound like crap. So yeah, that's it. Take care now. Bye.